ready to go here. So let's figure out which is going to be the best way to get everything pulled up here. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's Mr. Jam Foster. Hey, there he
Am I
is.
blurry? Do I look blurry on your end?
No, you look all right on this end.
Okay, good. We don't want to miss this.
Yeah, yeah. That's the money shot.
That's
So,
a money maker. Well, how things been going?
hi, buddy. It's been a little warm up here in Kentucky. How's it going there?
Yo, it's hot. Yeah, people talk about global warming, and I'm like, how can there be global warming when there's no such thing as a globe, right? But people say it's never been this hot. It's never been this hot. And well, when I was a teenager, 1982, Oklahoma and Texas, parts of Texas it was 34 days in a row of 100 degrees or more. So, yeah, now imagine 100 degrees or more for over a month straight.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Oh, I know.
But I'm
But
glad I'm
yeah,
glad you mentioned that about the globe because I've had some information here about globes. I've actually had it here for about a month. I had it on a list about a month ago, and I said I'm going to save this until we have Jim on. So we'll go over that here shortly. But we'll just jump in here anytime. And I mean, is there anything in particular you want to talk about, or?
well, no. Is everybody? I guess everybody's kind of up to speed with respect to the CBDC and the central bank digital currency. The global, yeah, the goal where they're taking us off. They're taking us off the fiat money, the paper money. All of this stuff is connected to this great reset. So there's some new things that are come about. The thing you got in your arm. If those of you who did get this in their arm, it was all. This is a globalist agenda. So yeah, there's really we're kind of headed toward it. We're headed down that path. So that's kind of it's kind of scary. And I mean, like my dad said, my mom, we were all Air Force in our family. If you're prepared, there's no emergency, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, just got to be prepared. Spiritually, financially, whatever to think it is in your world that you need, get it done because we're on our way to the globalist one world government. Now, are we 2 years away, 5 years away, 10 years away? Hell, who knows? And here's the thing: I'm a prepper just by nature, just because of my family in the military. So it really wasn't a big jump for me to get extra shit in the house, right? If nothing happens in the next, oh hell, I don't know, let's say 5 years, if it's just maintaining like this, and I don't see any trends going the other way, then I'll have a lot of food to give away to the homeless, and there's a shitload of homeless.
That is correct. You are correct.
Yeah.
And we're worried about taking care of everybody else but them.
Right. Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, how many do you guys have these shows? What is it? Every week? Every few weeks? What's that look like?
Yeah, here recently, the last month and a half or so, we've been doing them weekly. Um, last week was a pretty rough show for us. I mean, the viewership was pretty dead. It already looks better tonight than it did last week. So,
Oh, good.
we had talked about, possibly even having to move it different days, different, whatever. But I mean, we've been doing Sundays, did Saturdays and stuff for a little while there, and we're trying to move it to Sundays where everybody have a little bit of extra time to do things. But as of right now, we're doing all right.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad because I like what you guys talk about.
Well, like I said, about a month ago, I wrote some stuff down I had it on a run sheet for a show, and I'm thinking, as I was sitting here, Matthew's not with me tonight. He wasn't able to make it, so it's just me tonight. But as I was sitting here, I said, I don't really want to mention this tonight. I'm going to wait till I have Jim on, and then I'm going to mention it then, because it would make more sense. And then right off the bat, you mentioned the globe. I was
Right.
it's just weird to me that. Yep, there it is.
This is where we live.
I was, I was watching YouTube here, Yeah, but it's been, like I said, about a month ago, and they said something on there about the planets and the universe and stuff like that, and it just hit me. I said, I wonder when the first globe was invented. So I went to Google. I thought, Google, they're going to say whatever they want to say anyway. So I went to Google, and it said that the oldest globe survives to this day, was made in Germany by a German in 1492, just before Christopher Columbus was to sail the world. I said, well, okay. So I said, I wonder when the solar system was discovered. And that was in
Okay. Yeah.
1567. I said, well, something's not adding up here all of a sudden. I said, somewhere between 40 and 70 years after the first globe was made, they discovered the universe. And I said, okay, so in the 1500s, I guess we was supposed to be able to go to space. That don't sound right. So I started
Yeah.
researching a little bit more, and I learned the first rocket went into space with a German V-2 rocket in 1944.
Yeah. It was Russian.
452 years after the first globe was invented. So it's like, so how in the world did we know what the Earth would look like 400 years in the past when we had never been there before? So I couldn't really understand that. And then the first human never went into space until 1961. So it's like, how did they know what a universe is? How did they know the globe was round, if it is round? How did they know about anything? It just didn't make no sense to me that over 500 years had passed since, the first person had ever went into space, supposedly. How did they know in the 1400s that the Earth was supposed to be round? And this is all Google stuff that I got right off of Google. And, if anybody's watching, thinking
Well,
you guys are
so
crazy, you can look it up on Google.
right. Well, now there's a couple things that you said that are very telltale. Paramount Pictures, right? Everybody knows Paramount Pictures, the turning globe they have, right?
Yes.
That if you Google Paramount Pictures 1932, they already had the globe as their symbol, right? 1932, and we didn't go into space until 1961, like you said. To go back to 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? 1550 is the scientific revolution. That is when the Jesuit order, 1950, Sir Ignatius Pilate, out of the Catholic Church, that is when the heliocentric model began. The Catholic Church worships the devil. The Catholic Church worships Lucifer. Okay, sun worship, S-U-N, sun worship. They are one of the biggest cults. All religions are man-made social constructs anyway, right? Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh, God did not say, follow me because of my religion. He said, follow me, right? So the Catholic Church is the one who started this globe and it's as simple as this, to bring us further away from our Creator. When you believe in a spinning ball, will you go get my globe for me? When you believe in a spinning ball, you believe in evolution. Darwin's theory of evolution didn't come out till the 1800s, right? But the globe model means that we came from a Big Bang, right? The Big Bang that started us all. We were primordial sludge. We became amoebas, then we became this, and then we became that, and we started to walk, and we're apes, and now we're not, right? The globe, this round world that everyone believes in because we've been inculcated and taught this from the third grade. This is in every classroom from from kindergarten to 8th grade, right? Why is it so? Now, it doesn't matter where you are on Earth. No matter where you are on this Earth right here, this stationary construct, geocentric Earth, everywhere, Africa, the Middle East, Iraq, Iran, Canada, United States, South America, what is in a classroom? It doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter what math you know, it doesn't matter what history you know, right? What is in every classroom? It's a globe. Why is there a globe in every classroom from preschool all the way to 8th grade? It's to inculcate and get you used to it. Why are there Why do you see the globes? Why all these space movies? It's so you will not believe your own senses and your own eyes that we are stationary. So yeah. So what you said to me, it lines exactly right up 1500s with the Jesuit order and the Catholic Church. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, when I started researching that, I said, they always say if you Google it, everything's right. I said, it's okay. A lot of people, you know as well as I do, a lot of people, when you get on these programs, people say, you're fake, you're getting it from fake news networks and stuff. I got it from Google. So anybody right now watching that didn't believe it can go to Google and type these dates in, and it'll tell you that. But it was just weird to me to know that we knew what the Earth supposedly looked like from space 500 years before we ever went to space. Supposedly went to space.
Right. Well, and there's what they try to do is they try to get so much information out there, and I say they are the globalist agenda, Satan, because that's what we're dealing with, guys. From Adam and Eve, from even before that with Enoch, before all of this, Satan is the great deceiver. He is the prince of this world. Matthew 24, I think, he is the God of this world. Yeshua, Jesus, calls the devil the prince of this world, which means he has dominion over this earth because it was defiled when Eve slept with Satan and had Cain. And Eve slept with Adam and had Abel. Cain and Abel are fraternal twins. That is the eating of the apple, right? That is the defilement, the big deception. Satan seduced Eve, and that's where we are today. That's what this thing in your arm's about, guys. This is about messing with the God gene, the C12, or I'm having a hard time remember but just look it up. It's the God gene. This is what the mRNA does. It removes a part of that DNA. We have been fighting this Satan since the very beginning because everything he wants to do. He wants to bastardize everything that Yahweh has created.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you see the comments on the screen when I put that up there?
It's blurry on my end. I don't know why. If you'd like, I can log out and come back in, but no, it was blurry.
It's all right. I'll just read it to you. Thomas Petrie said, ask a pilot if the Earth, is flat, round or flat, and he said, I guarantee you they will tell you that it's flat.
That's exactly right. I've learned. So I said earlier when we started this, my dad was a squadron commander in the Air Force, major, and my mom was a major as well. She was a flight commander. They flew. So I knew the Earth was stationary. My uncle, Colonel Alan David, Air Force. Everybody's Air Force in my family. They all flew. Huey to the F-16. My mom flew a helicopter. So this was already ingrained in me in the 70s and the 80s about their flight plans, that everything's done on a stationary, geocentric construct, right? We're not moving. Yeah. So pilots, yeah, they're coming around. They're coming around. 6 years ago when 2016, 2015, when I really started, pushing topic, pilots were a little apprehensive, but now most of them are coming around because the truth is finally coming out. So guys, remember, if you believe in this, you believe that we came from monkeys in a big bang, because this is evolution, right? This is where we really are with God's three heavens above in Deuteronomy, Matthew, and I believe Luke. The three heavens are above God. We are the center of God's creation, just like he wants us to be the center of his.
Yeah, we were talking earlier today, here, and, we were talking about if you've noticed the flight patterns, of all the airplanes or whatever that you see, the flight patterns are always the same. It's like at night you could stand out here in the front yard and see 30 planes take the exact same route over and over and over. It just don't. I honestly believe if it was round, they'd be able to go any direction they want, but they always go the same direction. Right.
Well, that brings up another point. Good. that if the Earth was moving, and see, there's something called atmospheric flow. That is how they explain why, if the world's spinning, if the world is spinning, and I say world, not Earth, because this is Earth, this is the world. This is their creation. So if the world was spinning, right, you would have to think that a helicopter could just lift off the ground and hover, right, and just wait till New York came underneath him, and he would just go right back down. Or if a plane is flying east and it's trying to land, it would get to its destination faster because the Earth is coming towards the plane or the helicopter. But if they're going west, they would have to go a little faster to keep up with the spin. I mean, you see how ridiculous all of this sounds? And the way they explain that, it's called atmospheric flow. They say we're in air is considered a fluid. So they say that we're going along with the Earth, but it's all of it's hocus pocus. It's a big sham, just like COVID was a big sham. And also, here's something for you guys to look up. If you're let me get to Africa. All right, so here's Africa and the Mideast, right? And the Nile River. Now, this is the Nile River is the longest river on Earth. Okay, the longest river on Earth, 4,000 miles. Do you know it flows north from Egypt? It goes in through all Egypt, all the way. It flows north. So if you're going north, you're going uphill. According to the globe model, if you're going north here, you're just going flat. And now, and so Google, I mean, we got to trust Google because if they say it, you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? But if we're talking stuff that they, when you're messing with any type of search engine, understand that there are powers out there that only give you certain information. However, when you're asking simple questions, when did Columbus sail the ocean blue? What rivers flow north? Look it up. There's like 32 rivers. I think one of them's the Colorado River here in the United States that flows north. If you're flowing north, you're going uphill. Water does not go uphill. Simple as that, right? And do we feel like we're spinning? I don't.
I know I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much I drink, I guess. But other than that.
Thomas he said he wanted your opinion here too. Let this truck go by. When you have a show outside in the mountains, there's vehicles everywhere.
You're outside. Okay.
Yeah, Thomas says, what's your opinion on Antarctica? Not to change the subject, just wanted to touch it before the end of the show. And now Antarctica is another story that goes along with the Earth thing. Yep. And I'll let you touch on that.
Yeah, so you really didn't change the subject at all. The Antarctic is part of the globe model. Here it is down here, right down here at the very bottom. You see that little white thing? That's the globe. That's the globe model Antarctic. Here's the Antarctic right here, right? So let's talk common sense here. We'll keep it KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? I don't need a master's degree in rocket engineering to know certain things, and neither do you, neither does anyone. They only do that to keep us confused, right? To keep us off balance. The Antarctic, how many countries, or let me say, how can I phrase this? The Antarctic Treaty was 1956, 1953, 1956. 53, 54, 55 countries agreed on a treaty that's been going on for, almost 80 years now, and no one's ever broken this treaty. In what world do we live in where 70 years, 80 years can go by and there's 50 countries that still agree on one thing, not to go to the Antarctic and do it and make it commercial, right?
Absolutely.
So when you drill down a little, understand that it's a bigger picture. You still there? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. Did I break up a little bit? Or are we good?
Yeah. You broke up there just a tad bit, but you're back now.
Okay. I'll repeat what I said. How in what fairy tale lollipop Barbie world do we live in when 80 years a treaty has never been broken by 53, 54 countries, right? Number one, it's an impossibility that some country is going to say, F you, I'm going down there because I need to get oil, whatever. I want to go explore. So understand that they're keeping us away from there for a reason. That reason is well, let me back up here. I don't know the reason. There's a lot of theories, okay? I've never been, but there could be other lands. I mean, Admiral Byrd, 1948, he was an admiral. Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd went down there on three different expositions, high jump and a couple of others. And he says that there was another land the size of the United States. So whether you believe that or not, great. But the thing is, they're keeping us from there for a reason, and it's not because of global warming and all of the stuff that we're poisoning the planet with. Here's something that's kind of off topic, but don't you find it quite funny that something that we breathe out, CO2, is killing the planet, killing this, right? How deceptive and evil is that to make it sound like we're the problem, right? And that's what they do. They got everybody's mind all jumbled up, and we got to save the planet. Well, you don't need to save the planet because there's no such thing as a planet. We're right here, right? We are in a dome and covered up, and it's some estimates 6,000 miles up. I don't really know. The sun and the moon are in the firmament. Genesis 4, Genesis 3. He put the lights in the firmament. So yeah, it's everything, guys. Everything is a lie that we've grown up knowing. Nuclear weapons, that's a lie. I mean, this shot, that's a lie. You understand, everything coming out of this beast system is for one purpose. That's to bring you away from God, Yahweh, and make you depend on earthly things.
Hey, Jim, I got another question. Why do you think, and it was asked for you, and it was what? How do you say it? What do you believe is the reason that they won't let us go to Antarctica?
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. So that there's a multitude of reasons, I think, or answers, and I can only theorize is that there's some stuff down there that we would find, other lands. I'm really thinking other lands, other continents, perhaps. There's some gateway they call that you can go through. That's the reason why. People are asking, well, are there aliens? And guys, there's no such thing as aliens. If you don't have this and you don't have outer space, how can we have aliens? Right? There's no aliens or demons. Just so everyone's clear, when they have this fake alien invasion, isn't this funny? 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, even, if you and I were saying, "Oh my God, aliens! I saw an alien," we would have been laughed out of the building. Isn't it funny how easily, at a snap of a finger, a wink of an eye, they can switch the paradigm, and everybody's now believing in aliens? It's crazy how people are so led, and I call them sheeple. They're the ones wearing the mask still to this day.
Yeah, I was ready to. That's another thing I didn't touch on last week was the alien invasion. I said I'm saving that one for next week too because that's going to go in perfect with everything that we're talking about.
Yep, that alien invasion, guys. They're going to use something called Project Bluebeam, and the technology that the United States governments or the world governments have, or the Earth governments, to use our vernacular, is 100 years past what we think it is. So Project Bluebeam's one of them. They're gonna project stuff up in the sky, and my theory is that they're gonna have our own bombers inside these projections, their own planes, bombing the shit out of whatever they're gonna bomb. And they don't have to blow up a lot of crap for us to go, oh my God. They can bomb the Nevada desert and hit some vacant buildings, and everyone would jump on board just like that. So it doesn't really have to be that big of a psyop at all for us to jump on board and start screaming to the government, help me. So
yeah, I know it's just wild to think that everything's happening right now the way that it is. But I just thought that alien invasion thing was really, really interesting.
Yeah, guys, aliens. No, I'm sure you don't, but just for people that are first hearing this, don't believe in aliens. They're not real. These will be demons. These are the fallen angels of Nephilim, Genesis 6. The men of renown.
Hey, Jim, our buddy Mike Wilkerson says you are the man, batshit crazy. So,
welcome to the club. Admission is free.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It just when I did the research on that globe, I said, how in the world can we know that globe looked like that and all the planets look like that 500 years before supposedly somebody went into space? I said, that just, it don't make no sense. It's all, I believe it's been a theory all along, just a thought. You know, like someone made something up and said, I believe this is what it is, and we're going to go with it.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Well, you're right on track. That entity, that construct that made it up was the Catholic Church, the Jesuits. Okay? They're the ones that started this whole thing. And then the scientific revolution came in 1550. 1553 is when the heliocentric model began to be a permanent fixture. And there was still, now don't get me wrong, that the Jesuit order, we have our first Jesuit pope, guys. All of this goes into prophecy, guys. All of this stuff. We've got the four horse of the apocalypse. The pale green horse, the white horse, the red horse, the black horse. All these things are happening right now. Don't kid yourself. Satan is walking. I think Satan's walking with us right now, physically, in physical form somewhere.
Oh, I don't doubt that a bit. Yeah, and Mike said that you do know that he loves you, though. Mike Wilkerson.
Oh, totally.
You got anything, Deb? I'm trying to look and see if we got anything in the comments here for us so far.
Okay.
Yeah, the comments are dead right now. Where you at, Thomas? You had all the other questions. Let's get some more here. I know you're interested in this stuff. What is some of the stuff we've been talking about that we know that would work out?
TikTok, we can get some
Yeah. Yeah, we've been streaming live on TikTok the last few weeks.
On TikTok?
I think we made it last week 15 minutes before we got banned.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said it was misinformation and said, what it is we get like 2,000 live viewers at one time, and 1,900 of them are full liberals, and it's hilarious just to be able to argue with them. But soon as one of them gets their feelings hurt or their panties in a wad, they report you and you're gone. You're just banned. We've been banned for a week right now.
See, yeah, well, I'd like to know when the paradigm shift where the minority has power over the majority, right?
And that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the loudest and most obnoxious.
Larry Jividen's got a good one here. He said, the caveman went into space and said the world is round.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. If there's anyone when I give my talks and, about, you lose most of your freedoms under a Republican president. I say that for the end of my talk, right? When I talk about this and stuff, it's for people to all they have to do to grasp it is to not believe what they hear on CNN, Fox News, all of them. They are all part of the cabal, folks. There is one person, one entity that is running this whole show, and that's Satan, devil, Lucifer, Beelzebub, whatever name you want to put with that cat. That's who's doing this whole thing, because he wants to bring everybody, as many people as he can, to him, right? And part of my talk, I got my PowerPoint, pointing stuff on the screen. The rapture. That's one of the biggest blowbacks I get is the rapture. No one's being, am I freezing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. one of the biggest blowbacks I get when talking about this is we're all going through the tribulation and the great tribulation. Okay, there's no rapture. You're not special. You're not going to be leaving while you sit up and watch everybody else go through hell. Okay, and I prove that very simply by pointing to the Bible and asking a few simple questions about certain people, like David. Did God pull David? Did Yahweh pull David out of the lion's den? No. He saw him through it, right? Did God, Yahweh, did he pull Job out of his troubles? No. Did Yahweh pull, was it Meshach, the three guys in the furnace, right? There's three prophets in the furnace. Did he pull them out? No. He sent an angel to see them through it, right? Did he pull Stephen out? No, he didn't. And most of all, did he pull Yeshua, his only son, out of all the beatings that he got from the Pharisees? No. So why in God's green earth do you think you're going to be raptured up, that you're that special, that you're going to be gone? And the answer is you're not. So be ready to go through the tribulation and the great tribulation. And secondly, why would Yahweh remove everyone from earth, all the believers? Why would he remove everyone from earth and leave everybody down here lost, right? Who's going to evangelize? Who's going to bring them? He's not. He's leaving everyone here to bring people towards him while everything is going on. So, and people go, and here's the thing, and if I'm wrong, which I'm not, I will take that. I will fall on that sword. You can make fun of me day and night when we're in heaven. Like I told you we raptured, I said, well, son of a bitch, we sure were. So, but it's not happening. You're going through the tribulation and the great tribulation. Just be prepared. And what's the one way, best way to be prepared for it? Anybody?
Trying to wake these comments up, and I ain't waking up right now.
Okay.
Caller that has a question.
Well, your best armor in the tribulation is being saved.
Hey, Jim, we've actually got a caller on the line here that's got a question, so I'm going to bring them in here and see if we can.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you talk to Michael.
Hey, what's up? Good, you? Okay, so you're saying they didn't have the COVID vaccine? Okay, but they did have COVID. Do what now? All right, Jim. What she's saying is, she had heard about the COVID vaccinations, but the person that she knew didn't have the COVID vaccination, but had possibly had COVID in January, and then didn't go to the doctor, and then you say it was in April. Okay. Okay, so no COVID vaccine, but possibly COVID in January. In April, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and lived 38 days after that. And what she was saying is, do you think that COVID itself is something other that could be causing cancer and stuff in people, and maybe not even as much the vaccine because this person didn't have a vaccine?
Gotcha. Are those two connected? Yeah, that's a good question. Cancer's a funny thing. It's a weird thing. I've had friends that had it. My grandmother had it. I don't know if they got COVID in January. I don't know. I've not heard that theory if they could be connected. Sorry for that. Her friend, her loss there, and just 38 days. Yeah, no, I don't think they're connected now. Had she gotten the COVID thing, she'd gotten that shot in her arm. Hey, hon. My wife is really up to speed on all of that, more so than I am. She's taken that part of that part of it and just really dug deep on the COVID thing, a lot deeper than. And I'd go pretty deep on some things here, but she's rabbit hole stuff and goes, oh my gosh, have you seen this? If well, it's not really a vaccine, guys. I mean, it's not our grandparents' vaccination for polio, stuff like that. This is a new age thing to change who you are. There's a theory out there. As a matter of fact, hey, give me 2 seconds. Hold on.
Okay. And we do appreciate that caller calling in and asking that question. And like I said, we always have a phone line open if anybody would like to call in and ask the question. Let's see if I can get the phone number pulled up here. I do so many things.
Okay.
Other things. It's hard to have. I'm trying to see if I can find the phone number, but I'll get the phone number. But Jim's back here real fast, so we'll shoot back to Jim.
Yeah. Give me just a second. I want to see if I can find this for us real quick.
Alrighty. I was just saying here that, I was telling, that we appreciated that caller calling in, and I was going to put the phone number up here. That way, if anybody wanted to call in, and ask some questions, I mean, that's why we're here. We try to get people involved and interact and stuff and go on, on these shows.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
in the morbidity, mortality business for a long time, practiced international law around the world, including living and working in 2 communist countries, undoing the Soviet model economy.
All right,
I understand who the players are in this genocide. I've done business with all of them, including the WHO. And when the Secretary of Defense illegally mandated the shots, he doesn't have the power to do that. I realized what this was all about, and I filed suit against them and raised a lot of issues, including the fact that everybody that's getting these shots are number one, exploratory laboratory animals, right? They're just test beds. And then number 2, if you got the shots, the odds are, according to U.S. law, that you are owned by the patent holders. You're a new species called Homo borgensis, and you are owned.
All right. So did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this and there. I'll you know what? If you I'll send this to Mike. And I'll have him, so you guys watch it. It's about 15 minutes. It's really not that long. It's just part of it. It's part of an interview that this guy did. So this vaccine, and to answer that lady's question, yeah, I think the cancer was there before. Of course, I'm no doctor, but just how it happened, it was there before. I don't think it had anything to do with the COVID at all. Now, had she had the shot in her arm, I might go, there might be a strong possibility that they could be connected. But of course, that's just speculation. But the thing itself is a whole new world of controlling this. And that, guys, what is the Satan about? What is the devil about? What is the New World Order about? This Luciferian controlled New World Order beast system. What is that about? It's about control, right? When I said you lose most of your freedoms under a Republican president, I mean it. If you look at their track record, it's 2020 vision when you see, oh my gosh, you're right. Trump shut down America, folks. How many freedoms did you lose when you couldn't work? And then he brought us warp speed. And I get people in my talks all the time going, well, he had to do it. He had to do it. Bullshit. He didn't have to do fucking squat. He could have said, F you, United States is staying open, couldn't he, right? He's the most powerful man in the United States, right? I'm sorry. He's the most powerful man in the world, right? He could have said, I'm not going to cause my citizens, the people that are in my country, to lose their livelihoods, and then on top of it, force them to get something in their arm to have to work or to fly or to travel. What kind of bullshit is that? And I get worked up about it because people are, I'm Trump, I love Trump, I love Trump. He's part of the fucking cabal, folks. They all are. Understand that. Get off this stupid sixth grade mentality and follow the fucking leader and understand that they are all part of the problem. Okay? Republican, Democrat, Bush, Trump, Obama, Clinton, Reagan. I was an 80s kid. Ronald Reagan. You know what Ronald Reagan did? Does anybody know what Ronald Reagan did with respect to vaccines? Come on. Anybody? Okay, let me tell you. He made it so vaccine companies cannot be fucking sued. Ronald Reagan did that. Don't tell me about Republican and Democrat. All right. I'll calm down here, but man, I get heated when people are going, well, Trump had it. Bitch, drain the fucking swamp like you said you were going to do. He kept Fauci around who made AIDS. AIDS is a man-made disease. Fauci did that. He kept Scarf Lady around. He wasn't draining shit, folks. Okay? So, and if you believe in Q, you believe in this QAnon bullshit, I've got some oceanfront property in Nevada I want to sell you. I'll sell it to you dirt cheap.
You say you had another question?
Yeah, well, I was just going to add to that with Kim on that. I've heard a lot of people talk about how when they've had COVID, it's enhanced things that they've had wrong with them. Sometimes it accelerates it. So maybe that's what happened with the cancer or whatever. I do know with my alpha-gal that I was told by the acupuncturist that every time I have COVID, it's like it resets my alpha-gal with my mast cell. And
Okay.
Was you able to hear that, Jim?
I was, Alpha. Yeah, my wife just walked in the room, and I had a question for my wife here. So, with respect to, because you've gotten a little deeper on this than I have, this vaccine, what does it have in it? I mean, I'm sorry, it's not a vaccine. This inoculation. Come over here and kind of speak in the speaker. It has the. Speak up for them here.
It deletes the God gene.
It deletes the God gene.
Which is the...
It's an A1 or something.
Oh, gosh. I can't think of it at this very moment.
Say hi. That's not my wife. That's the younger wife. The younger daughter. That's the daughter.
But, yeah, it deletes the God gene. I can't think of what that is.
Yeah. And doesn't the inoculation also have the AIDS virus in it? Yeah. So anyway, guys, and that's what I mean. I get worked up because this has been a big psyops on the United States populace, and I'm sorry, the world, this fake ass world. This has been the biggest psyops to get people to stick something in their body that, number one, changes who you are, and then number two, makes you perhaps property of the people that gave it to you. And thirdly, it doesn't do anything to help you. Guys, this was the biggest sham run. And my wife has gotten when 2020 came out and I was calling COVID. Guys, do you know what I said on March 20th, 2020? I said, and my wife was cringing when I posted this stuff, right? I don't know if you can read this, but I'll read it to you. It says, do not get the COVID vaccine. This New World Order Satan shot will kill you. It's about population reduction, mRNA, mRNA bioengineering that changes who you are genetically, blood and all. Okay, you see that? I posted, look at the date. March 20, the day they pull all this shit out. And this one here. See that glow? Okay. So this says, COVID is a sham. Do not believe anything you hear. It's all a lie. To usher in the New World Order's mandatory vaccines, digital currency, and your blood will clot. I did this immediately because I knew what was going on. Do you want to know how the New World Order F's with everybody? How they screw with it? They're laughing at us all the time. Do you know how how supposedly, remember, what was the first stories about how it came out? What was it? Do you remember? Anybody? Does a wet market sound familiar? Right? What was in the wet market? What kind of rodent or animal? A bat, right? Do we all remember that? Well, do you know when the United States mints quarters or dimes or nickels, when they mint our currency, they have to send in the plan, get the artist, do all that shit, then send it, then stamp it and pull it out and push it out to the populace, right? Well, guess what? The quarter, and this takes months, guys. This is like they started when they do coins, I think it's about 6 or 8 months prior before they release it. What was on the back of the quarter, our tails, heads and tails, what was the tail side of the quarter in 2020 January? Anybody? You want to take a quick guess? It was a bat. Why would a bat be on the back of a January 2020 quarter? Because they're laughing at us and they're telling us what they're doing. Go ahead.
That's interesting. So you were saying on the question that
It's not, the people have not been inoculated. They've not taken
a lot of
vaccine.
people have not taken the vaccine, but they've had COVID, and they have had, like you said, with your alpha-gal, it gave you problems. It would do a lot of things. So yeah, there's like a lot of people. What she's saying is having a lot of issues. Even not being vaccinated, but having COVID, and it's causing people to have heart, sometimes heart issues or, kinds of different stuff. Self.
Yeah, well, I did catch what they're calling COVID. I mean, I'm there with everybody. I had it pretty bad. I had it for 5 weeks. I lost about 30 pounds, which I'll take losing 30 pounds any day. That was a good part about it. So I haven't had any lingering effects from it that I can notice. That I mean, for all intents and purposes, was back to normal later on. A few weeks later after it kind of started subsiding. So I'm not really sure. I haven't heard what that lady or gentleman's talking about. That people are having kind of reoccurring. Are they catching COVID again? Maybe is that what it is, or maybe their body is susceptible to it. What's that?
POTS.
Oh, POTS. Yeah. So Sarah, the daughter that you saw, the blonde, caught POTS or got scarlet fever from COVID. So that could be what she's talking about. Some stuff that happens afterwards. Yeah, and that I totally believe, because what this is a man-made, generated, released on us on purpose disease. And but this is something my wife had brought up. Guys, remember drive-up pharmacies. We're going to poke you. We're going to get your test. Guys, COVID is the test. COVID is the vaccine. It's that they're giving it to us, guys. Huh? Yeah, it's in the tests. Remember when it's in the masks? Guys, this is called graphene oxide. Look it up. I'll text all this stuff to Mike Wilkerson so he has it. Graphene oxide. This is graphene oxide is a scary thing, and there was a TED talk on it in 2016. You guys need to look up. And then what happened 6 months later? Oh my gosh, the guys, everything is planned out. The way our reality, our construct is set up is that the globalist agenda, the New World Order, Satan, they have to tell us what they're doing. Okay? So the quarter, they had to tell us. 9/11, they told us what was coming, folks. So that's just the way it's set up, because because Satan does not, the only power, guys, understand this. This is one of my writings called Deception, no more, no less. Deception, no more, no less, is about Satan, and all the power he has is deception. He cannot enter our bodies. He cannot possess us. His demons cannot possess us. They can't do it unless we open that door. If we're messing around with Ouija boards or Satanism or such, if we open the door, he can come on in. But he cannot do anything. He cannot enter our body, our soul, our spirit unless God allows it. Yahweh allows it. So with that said, Satan's only, and it come to find out it's all he needs because we're all stupid anyway, right? Quote unquote. All he needs is deception. He deceives us. He's the great deceiver, folks. So the globalists, they need to tell us what they're doing. Because that's how it's written. They have to show us and tell us what they're doing. If we don't do anything about it, that's our problem. We could have all stood up and told Trump to F off. Well, I'm not quitting my job. You're not going to close my bar. You're not going to close my salon. You're not going to close my restaurant. No, I'm going to work and make it sense. You know, I was so mad. Here I go again. I got so upset when I kept hearing essential jobs. You know, your job's essential. You got an essential job. I don't know. Do you have one? I don't know. Do you have? Let's ask the government what's essential, right? F you. You know when your job's essential? Let me tell you when your job's essential. When you can't feed your fucking family.
That's right.
That's exactly.
How essential is your job now, Cupcake? Right? Don't tell me to close my business. You mind your own business, and I'm gonna feed my family, right? So anyway, but the New World Order, the globalists, they have to tell us what they're doing. And the thing is they tell us all the time. We just sit back and go, well, I want to go tailgate. You know, fuck.
All right, Jeff,
it's very frustrating.
I got another question for you here. Go ahead.
Jim, have you ever heard of a book called Lab 257? And it's supposed to go over like the bioengineered weapons that they've already been working on. Like,
oh, I know, I have not.
They're saying alpha-gal is one of those, possibly Lyme's disease. They put a kickback on Lyme's disease and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that I'll look that up. What was it? 257?
Lab 257.
Lab 257.
Lab 257. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up because I haven't. But that's the thing, guys. This they don't have. Listen, nuclear weapons, they're fake. So that's a whole different topic. But they don't have to blow us up. They don't have to threaten. They don't have to destroy cities because we're just giving them away. We can stay in our house and they can take over, right? So that Lab 257, I'm sure it's got a lot of great information in it, and I'm gonna look it up and read it because it's true. They've got a bunch of stuff that has been patented. AIDS is patented. You know what else is patented? Ebola. What does that mean when something's patented, guys? What's that mean? Man-made. You can't have a patent. Yeah, they can't patent nature. They can't patent wood because it's already here. Anything with a patent, they can't patent. They can patent plastic, right? Yeah, wood can't patent it because it's natural. So yeah, anything that's patent is man-made. AIDS, Ebola, or mRNA vaccine, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Larry.
Go ahead.
Larry had said he worked every day around all kinds of people, never did catch COVID. Melina says that it's in the test, graphene oxide. And
yep.
Then, and then we got Kim here. Where Deborah was mentioning Lyme disease there a minute ago. She said, and I don't know how it is there in Oklahoma, but right here locally, especially right here in Eastern Kentucky, there's been a lot of people lately with Lyme disease from tick bites.
There's a lot of people with alpha.
Oh, wow.
And that alpha-gal and stuff. I mean, I'll be honest with everybody right now. I mean, I had to go in the other day, and I'm currently right now waiting for blood test results to come back for Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever because I had ticks on me and, been feeling pretty rough and stuff. So, I'm waiting on those tests to come back myself. So, and we're talking about ticks. How did the Lone Star tick get to Eastern Kentucky? I think we all kind of know how the ticks was unleashed the same way everything else was unleashed on us.
Yeah, no, exactly right. So, hey, so bring up that point about you, Lyme disease. Have you had COVID before?
I've had COVID twice.
Okay, so all right, so that goes to that lady's point, and I think I've kind of got it wrapped in my head now. So yeah, so COVID breaks down your immune system, so we're more susceptible to diseases. That's what I guess we're calling it COVID. Whatever it is they fucking released on us, that everyone got, it does reduce your immune system. It's an autoimmune deficiency. of AIDS. That's all that stuff is there. And they said, I'm going to send this to Mike. I want you guys to listen to this. That thing I just played. Because now we're going back to 5G, certain frequencies, right? And it makes total sense when you bring the Bible into it, because what did God do? What did Yahweh do? He spoke. He said, "Let there be light," and there was, and that was the first day. Let there be. He spoke. Sound, vibrations, resonance, frequency. Okay, that everything is that. And then when you think about the graphene oxide, it reacts to sound. Okay, sound is very powerful. The levitation, all kinds of stuff, guys. So if you've gotten COVID, that's what and then it reduces what you have, your immune system, and then once they hit that 5G, it's going to resonate with something in your body, perhaps, and then boom, you've got AIDS, or you got Ebola, whatever it is, you turn into a zombie, whatever that looks like. That's what all this is about.
Yeah, Miranda Cantrell here, she said in the comments, she is their local newspaper, editor and stuff here, and she said she could tell us right now that she hasn't felt good since she had COVID. She's not felt like she did before, she ever had COVID. It's like, she's felt bad ever since.
Well, that's what it was meant. That's what it's meant for, is because, baby, guys, this is about population. I mean, I posted in 2020, March. This is about population reduction. They want to kill. They don't give a rat's ass about us. Guys, we're cattle to them. We're cattle. That's it. The Rothschilds, right? The Vanderbilts, all the names that these are the bloodlines of the devil, of Satan. Okay? When Cain killed Abel, when Cain killed Abel, that killed the Yeshua bloodline, and then then Adam and Eve had Seth. Cain is Satan's son, and that's where all the bloodlines came out of. That's who we're fighting today. All the royalties, guys, everybody that, if you know their name, they're in the cabal. Putin, Xi Jinping, Trump, Clinton, if you know their name, Brad Pitt, if you know their name, they are part of the beast system. Understand that. They are not your friends.
Melina I'm going to see if it'll come up on here, but I'll go ahead and read it too. She said, I want to know, how do you know if you've had COVID? Those tests, most I've seen says COVID, flu A, flu B. So how do you know what you've got?
That's the $100 question, right?
Well, I think they would test positive if you stuck them between your toes, I honestly believe. So.
No, exactly right. Yeah, because it's all about positive results. They need those results positive to boost everything up, to get everybody scared. Guys, do not be scared. Fear is used to control, right? That's how they control everyone, is through fear. Am I scared of things? Sure. Will I be scared of something coming? Yes, but I don't let it run my life. Absolutely. I will face those fears when they come up, and I'll either do good or I won't, right? I'm hoping with the faith and my convictions that I'm going to make the right decisions for my family, and that I'm going to have the right decisions for my friends, and that the words coming out of my mouth is not going to lead anybody down the wrong path. That's the last thing I want to do, is come out here and talk about all this stuff, and then somebody, that's been I'd say not my worst fear, but I don't want to lead anybody down the wrong path. So that's why I'm sure when I speak something, I mean it with every fiber of my being. And don't let them scare you into submission, right?
Absolutely. Let's see what we've got here. Melina said something actually really, really interesting here that I think was interesting to anybody. It was funny how the flu died right around the time that COVID came out. I mean, here in Kentucky,
bingo,
we might have only had 2 cases of the flu for 2 years. You never heard about it?
Ding, 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 ding. So, yeah, exactly. And doesn't that, God Almighty, 2020, dude, I was pulling my hair out, going, stop, people, stop! You're going. This is Germany, 1941. You're walking to the boxcar. Don't do it. Okay, don't get on the boxcar. It's not what you think. Yeah, and you ask a stupid progressive liberal person, Well, what happened to flu? Well, just talking out the side of their fucking neck. Like, no, look, guys, you're sick. I get it. They just want you to get that thing in your arm. It was sad that people are so stupid. And here's the thing. I want to be as respectful as I can for people that are listening or that might see this, that were part of that. But please wake up at this point. If you're at this point, you're still wearing a mask, you got bigger issues. Okay. So
we saw a few of those today. We went to Kroger earlier today, and there was people wearing masks, and it's 90 degrees. Here people walking around outside with a mask on in the parking lot, and then was in the store. And I'm thinking, this stuff is over with. This whole scared thing, should be gone. It should have been gone a long time ago, but people still living it up.
Yeah, and what do you do, right? And I want to, I always want to be compassionate and have grace if I can, right? You don't know until you know, okay? But there is a fine line between you not knowing, okay? If that person doesn't take that extra little step to even get out of their cognitive dissonance, right? There's not much you can do. That's when you just say, I'm going to leave you behind. When I first met my wife years ago, we'd have conversations about this stuff, and I was heavy in Facebook before on my other page, my conspiracy page, right? That when the crowd's going that way, I'm going that way, right? I'm not following the crowd. And it took a little while being with her for it to sink in and kind of not really get on board, because she was already kind of on board, but you have to be convinced. But there's a fine line. It didn't take me browbeating her with, look at this, look at this, look at this. It was a few comments, it's things, and you know what she did? She looked it up. Whoa, my gosh, go figure. Guys, there's no excuse for anyone. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the whole wide world in our hands, right? We can get anywhere on this in a split second. So there's no excuse to not know now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna change it up just a tad bit and go from COVID, and I'm gonna ask you about something else that is one of our big topics that we talk about, not as much on the show, but off the show and just in everyday life. But it's weather manipulation and chemtrails. Here in Kentucky, and I'm sure it's the same way there. Every time that you look into the sky, which I don't see any currently here, but every time that you look into the sky and you see these chemtrails that are following behind these jet planes, within the next 24 hours, you have a storm front. You have severe weather, you have rain, you have something, something's going on. And I just wanted to get your reaction, and see what you thought about that.
Okay, well, guys, we don't have to go any further than Obama's CIA director, George Brennan. Okay, you know what he said in 2016? They're talking about geoengineering. Are chemtrails real? You bet your ass they're real. HAARP up in Alaska. Yeah, the chemtrails are real. They've been going on since the mid '60s, I think. But they now talk about it, and it's real. Yeah, they admit it. They readily admit it nowadays. Just like NASA readily admits that we can't get out of low Earth orbit. We can't get out of low Earth orbit. We've been to the moon, but we can't get out of low Earth orbit. What's going on? And the thing is, they're hoping that everybody stays stupid and asleep. But yeah, chemtrails are real. They seed shit, and they're dropping all kinds of metals on us. Yeah, so it's real. It's real.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's funny here that, and the weird thing here, I mean, when you see them, on the days you see them, they form X's in the sky, which is really weird. It's like there's always a big X somewhere in the sky, sometimes multiple X's in the sky. And then, like I said, within a 24-hour, 48 hours at the most, you're going to have, rain, you're going to have some type of severe weather, and it's just, I mean, a lot of people tell us that we're crazy because we talk about the weather manipulation and stuff, but it's like, I don't think it's crazy because I see it happen and I watch it. I watch jets go over every day, and most of them don't have that. You know, the majority of them
Yep.
that has any type of steam or smoke coming out of the back of them evaporates instantly.
Often
And then
referred
you
to
have some
collectively
that'll go completely across the sky, and there's just a big trail all the way behind it that lingers in the sky for hours afterwards.
Yeah. Yep. And here's from the horse's mouth right here. Just listen to the first 10 seconds.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering,
Bingo.
that potentially could help revert.
So they talk about it, folks. All you have to do is get off your lazy ass, or maybe just lift your lazy finger and type a few buttons and try, and you can find it yourself, right? And that's what I get so frustrated with people when they, and I don't mind being questioned, but I know my subject matter. So if you're going to come at me with some stupid questions, I'm going to call you out. You know, guys, at this juncture in the game, I would say we're probably at the bottom of the 8th inning, going into the 9th. Okay, you've had 7 innings before to go ahead and get caught up. So now that we're all here together collectively, what was that? Oh, a few good men when what's his name sitting on the, I want the truth. You can't handle the truth, right? When the actor, can't remember his name. What's this guy's name? What was the colonel's name? Huh? Who is it? Speak up. So, okay, Jack Nicholson. When he's sitting there talking and he goes, Jack Nicholson goes, he goes, oh yeah. He goes, have you ever watched a forward line, son? No, sir. Have you ever picked up a gun? No, sir. Well, he goes, well, I suggest you do, because until then, don't bitch about the way that I could, watch my border until you're there, right? So if all these people are just waking up in the 8th inning, going into the 9th, playtime's over. You need to listen to the experts, and I consider myself an expert in some of these areas, especially when it comes with the Bible and prophecy. I've got, I know things, and I can see where we're headed. That's kind of my specialty. I got charcoal. I can see my specialty is telling people where we're headed, right? So when you show up in the 9th inning, like all the snowflakes, I get pissed that you did the TikTok thing, right? Guys, we're in the 9th inning. That's what I mean. The crowd going this way, you go ahead and go with them, right? We're gonna be over here with our food and our MREs and our water and our ammo. Okay, so now what do you want me to say about the charcoal, hun?
The guys that's having complications, anybody.
Oh yeah.
Poisoned by those
Activated charcoal. If you're having challenges, this is over the counter. This is you get this at Aikens, any health food place. Activated charcoal. Take a few. It's a good dietary thing. It pulls it. Activated charcoal is what they give people at hospitals when they OD. So what it does is it grabs onto all the bad shit in your intestines and your stomach and pulls it out. You can speak up, baby.
The mask, the test, all that graphene oxide. If we have any hope, it's that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yep.
The guy that was saying I think he has Lyme disease and stuff. Take that.
Yeah. She is saying the gentleman, which is our host here, maybe have Lyme disease. Get some activated charcoal, Bubba. Take some. It can't hurt you. You can't OD on it. There's nothing to it. It's just, look it up. We get the I think it's bamboo, but anyway, look it up. Get some activated charcoal. It's saved. And this is, since you guys are Kentucky, and this is for anybody that's listening. You got dogs. I'm sure you guys heard of parvo. This is kind of way off this year. Our dog last summer, September, almost a year ago, she was 9 months old at that time, caught parvo. Took her to the vet. Didn't know she had parvo. I've forgotten. I've heard about.
Got it from a vaccinated dog.
Yeah, she got it from a vaccinated dog who just got his parvo shot. That's called shedding. That's why my wife thinks I got COVID, because we went to this big event at this stupid country club, the Greens Country Club, and there was 300 people in this place, and this is 2 years ago now? Yeah, it was 2 years ago now, where everybody was back, so she thinks I got it that way. But anyway, this right here saved our dog. We didn't know about this, so our dog caught parvo on Sunday. Took her to the vet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We gave her the antibiotics that the doctor gave us. Really wasn't getting any better. Thursday, my wife's on the internet cruising around trying to figure out what to do. She comes across Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, she comes across this breeder in California that said, get activated charcoal. We gave our dog that had parvo. This is 4 days in, folks. The dog was in death's door. We moved our bed into the kitchen because our dog was in the kitchen. We moved our bed into the kitchen from our bedroom, walked it all the way across the house into the kitchen to stay with her. Gave her activated charcoal Thursday, 4 days in, turned around. Yeah, within 30 minutes to an hour, this activated charcoal pulled all that shit out of her intestines and her stomach.
Which was all caused by a vaccine to begin with.
Yeah, which was all caused by a stupid vaccine to begin with.
And there you hear
So,
it.
yeah.
And there you've heard it, guys. Jim Foster
Yeah.
sponsored himself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go. I'm telling you, bro, for your Lyme disease that you had, go get this, man. Go get it. You, as I said, look it up, research it, take this shit.
Charcoal?
No, but it might work. Liver
Right.
Take a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And take it every week.
Yeah, you can use it as a dietary. Yep.
Get rid of infection.
Yep. So, but yeah, all this, everything that we've been talking about, everything in this conversation, the last hour, how long we've been on, everything encompasses this new world order globalist agenda. We're here, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right, and there's another major problem going on in this country, and I know this is something we've never talked about with you before, so I wanted to bring it up to you, and you may know what I'm talking about when I mention it. But have you seen the movie Sound of Freedom?
Have not seen that yet. No, I've got a friend of mine wants me to speak on it. She put a post and goes, "Hey, you need to speak on this movie." I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's an absolute, great movie. And of course, it's about, a major issue that's going on, worldwide, but mainly right here in the United States about sex trafficking of children. We went and watched it the opening weekend that it was out. And I mean, I couldn't wait to get back on the air. I had a whole episode where I talked like the first hour just about that movie and was trying to give tickets away and, everything I could do to get people to go, because I mean, it's really interested in it, and it's definitely something that's happening. It's even getting even local here, in Kentucky. So I mean, it's a dangerous thing that's going on, and that's got a lot. You were talking about a lot of the Hollywood elites. I remember, I think you said Tom Cruise and some of them earlier, and I mean, a lot of these people are involved in this, especially Hollywood, and a lot of these different people. But
yeah, I was in West Hollywood for 12 years. I went to a lot of parties when I was out there. I did a lot of. I mean, I was in that scene. I was in the Hollywood scene. Boy band and modeling, and so I was rubbing elbows with all those people. And I went to a couple of parties that were kind of strange in my day. So this is in the 90s. This is before I was, really involved in any of this stuff. So I'm just out there as a 22, 25, 26-year-old partying my butt off, going to these parties and just seeing a bunch of hot women and weird costumes, all kinds of crap. Didn't even think about it. All the weird sculptures I'd see in these houses in Bel Air. I mean, I went to some major, big houses, 30,000 square feet, 40,000 square feet homes with this crazy artwork. And now looking back at it, I'm like, holy crap. You never saw it because I never got that deep into that side of that, whatever it is they were doing. I was more into, going out and partying and, hanging with my friends and crap. But being out there in Hollywood and now looking back in hindsight going, holy shit, I remember seeing this artwork at this house. I remember, going on set and, so looking back, I go, wow, it happens. It was happening. It still happens. The U.S. government is the biggest arbiter in child trafficking, all governments are, guys. It's a billion-dollar industry. And not only that, they want the devil, the Satan is all about messing with your head and getting you as messed up as you can. That way you can't think straight. That way you're going to get this, right? I mean, it's a very scary system that we're in, and it's been veiled quite well for a very long time. But I'm glad to see that there are fissures in this and cracks in it now that we can actually start seeing some things that are actually really going on.
I've got a comment here. Said, so you was in a boy band?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Back in my young.
So.
Yeah, right. ¿Cómo estás? No, it was. They were called Color Me Bad. I was a backup dancer for those guys. We're all from Oklahoma City. Went to high school here. Think we had 4 #1 hits in the '90s: "Sex You Up," "Dream On," "I Adore Me," and more.
What was the name of the band again? You say?
Color Me Bad.
Color Me Bad. Yeah. So you're telling me that when we ever get to do a live show in person, you're going to dance for us?
Oh, I can dance. Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I took 12 years of tap dance. About 12 years of tap dance when I was younger. I think I was, how old was I? 4 when I started, maybe 4 to 18, 6 to 18, something like that. My grandmother was in show business in the 30s and the 40s. Gene Stockwell. Have you guys heard of Danny Kaye? Do you know who Danny Kaye is? He was an actor in the 40s and the 50s. He was actually, but he was a pretty big actor too. My grandmother was friends with him. She lived in New York. So anyway, Gene Stockwell taught me. So to kind of circle around to how I got into Color Me Bad, because I could dance. I was a break dancer in the 80s and tap dance and all that stuff. I had a little rhythm as a white boy.
Well, me and Matthew a couple of times on our programs here have actually done a few dances and put them on TikTok. So that's why I said if we ever get to do a show in person, we're going to have some kind of dance off to try to draw some people in.
That'd be fun. Yeah. I'm all for that. I can make a fool of myself with no problem.
Hey, there you go. You got any questions? I'm just trying to see what we've got going on in the comment. Melina says you were a dancer for Color Me Bad. Heck yeah, that's cool. So.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. My 20s was very very fast, and it went by like that. For anyone that is in their 20s, soak it up because it goes by fast, and your 30s go by fast.
Oh, that's a definite. I'll be 40 years old next year, and it's been a long, long time since it feels like I was in the early 20s. And I can tell you, I don't move like I used to then either.
No, no. Yeah. My wife, I used to model. I was a model as well. My wife's wanting to show my portfolio. I don't know if the ring, let's kind of move that ring light real quick. Let's let the top light get it. There you go.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, that was me. That was here. This right here. This guy right here. that guy right there. Yeah. So
we actually have a celebrity on here tonight, guys. Look at that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's all I got at 54 now.
Hey, maybe they'll call you back for some kind of a new edition, where you can still pose more now or whatever.
Right? Yeah. Now I'm the after picture. But yeah, I get worked up, man. I get worked up when talking about all this stuff, just because you want people to wake up and understand where we are with all of the crap that's going on, right? We want to. Yeah, let me. I'll share something with you. The best way to wake yourself up is to research and understand this. Okay, understand this because you need to know what they're talking about. But really understand this, because once you realize that you've been lied to and you live here, and people go, well, that's not right. How can they go from Argentina to Australia? Guys, we don't know where all the continents are. We don't. God only knows. Yahweh only knows. My wife had a great analogy a few years ago. She goes, say you're an ant. You're an ant, and you're in Disney World. Does that ant or Disneyland, Does that ant know he's at a small world after all, and that across the thing is the whatever ride? No, the ant doesn't know how it's laid out. That's us. We don't know how the earth is actually really laid out, but we know that we don't live here. And the best way to remove all of the years of inculcation, the years of propaganda, is to understand where you really live, and then everything else falls into place. This is the best. This is the key to opening up the door. I promise.
Rivers.
Oh, I talked about that earlier.
And did you show the airplane?
Yeah, I talked about the rivers.
Show the
Yeah.
airplane?
Oh, and the airplanes. Yeah, I got to dip the nose. Yeah. So, but yeah, you really, this is the key. I promise, this is the key. Once you understand this, and you really believe it, you start your world opens up, and you go, oh my God, they have been lying about everything. Are you guys familiar with the mud flood theory? My wife really brought this to my attention. And I said mud flood is just a term. Basically, we've been lied to about the technologies that were here. The Bible has it clearly. The Bible has everything, folks. There's nothing new under the sun. I think that's Isaiah. Or Ezekiel, no, Isaiah, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that was here now, it's already been here before. So, but I promise, when I say this, I say this with ontological certitude and all my conviction. Research this, understand it, and everything will open up. Then you go, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, that's bullshit. Oh my God, I didn't know that was BS, but oh my God, I know it now. Okay, I promise. It does. It's something that just it opens you up.
That's what Michael and I talked about earlier. Once you find out they lied about one thing, you're like, you hesitate to believe anything they say.
Yeah. No, what's that old thing they say in the courtroom or something? Okay, so were you lying to me now, or are you lying to me then? Right? Which one is it? Yep.
Yeah, and you don't know who to believe because there's so much stuff. I mean, you mentioned Fauci earlier. He's one of those guys that will tell you one thing a year ago and then turn around today and say something totally different. So I mean,
who did you say?
You were mentioning Dr. Fauci. I said, his story changed.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's that guy. Anything come from this beast system? Don't believe it. Don't believe it, because they have one goal and one goal only. That is to kill you.
The fake alien invasion. Did you tell them about that?
Do what?
The fake alien invasion.
No, I talked about the fake alien invasion. Yeah, sure did. Yeah, that gene, the gene that removes the mRNA, it's the VMAT2. So look that up, VMAT2 gene. I don't know if you can read that or not, but yep, that's the God gene, the VMAT2.
That's our spiritual.
And so I don't forget, if Mike's still watching, Mike, I'm about to send you this link so you can disseminate it to everyone. And let me get it. Here it is. Yeah, I'll copy. So I'm going to send it to Mike right now so you guys can.
Genesis, and you are Genesis, and you are.
And it's a Facebook. I'll copy the link so hopefully everyone will get it.
Can you post into the comments through this? Can you see the comments on this thing? Or I was going to say, if you could do that, you could post it right here in the comments, on this live, and we'll be able to.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. All right. So. All right, so wait a minute. Here it is. All right, it's on its way to Mike right now. All right, so, but yeah, the key is, guys, anything coming from the news, just don't believe it. My wife, one of the smartest people I know, she's very common sense. She goes, see, touch, feel. Can I see it? Can I touch it? Can I feel it? Right? That just go by those three basics first. I can see the stars. Great. Do I feel like I'm spinning? No. See, touch, feel. That's a good basic, place to start with anything. Just because they say it doesn't mean it's true, right?
That's absolutely right. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I could get this copied here where I've got this link, and I'm going to see if I could share it here into the comments where people can look at it.
Okay.
There it is. It's actually just come into the comments right there, right now.
Oh, good.
So hopefully everybody, will be able to see that and go along with the flow.
Okay. Yeah, it's a short video, but there's really good information in it about the crap that they're doing, and I say they, them, there, that they are doing to us, the globalist agenda, our government. The whole thing is to control you or to kill you. Plain and simple. We're cattle, folks. We are cattle. Don't think they're our friends. Don't think Trump is not your friend. Obama is not your friend. Fauci, Scarf Lady, they're not our friends, guys.
And anybody that wants to check that link out, I actually pinned it also. It's in the comments, but I also pinned it, so it'll be at the top of the comments too for anybody who would like to check that link out.
Would you have Mike or someone text me this link here so I can watch this too again and send it to my friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
We got a question. Where's it at here? The one about the vaccine? Okay. Mark wants to know, what is your thoughts on the definition on vaccine and antidote? Was COVID a bioweapon or an infectious disease going by those definitions?
Yeah, no, it's a bioweapon. Yeah, watch that. If that gentleman still on that link that I sent you, they talk about that right at the very beginning of that. Yeah, this was a bioweapon. This was meant to get everybody to start to get everybody under this one umbrella of getting the shot or getting you sick, so you have problems afterwards. Yeah, this is all about, plain and simple, PR, population reduction.
You are
all this stuff is planned out, guys. Let me give everybody a little history here, okay? November. Now, remember, in occultism, in Satanism, they use numerology, they use astrology, they use gematria, right, to communicate. They use symbols to communicate, right? This is how our governments that are occultists, Masons, the Freemasons, this is how they communicate, right? Numerology. I'll start there. November 9th, 1989. What is that numerological? What is that? November 9th. That's 11/9, right? So 11/9, 1989, the Berlin Wall came down. Ronald Reagan, again, the Berlin Wall. You lose most of your freedoms under a Republican president. I'll keep saying it till everybody gets it. November 9th, 1989, the Berlin Wall came down. That was the rebirth of the New World Order. And this is the beginning of my talks. And people go, how do you know that? How do you know that? All right. Well, the first order, this is Revelations 7, Revelations 8, the beast wounded to the head, right? We're all familiar with that scripture in Revelations, the beast wounded to the head, right? That was the Ottoman Empire. The Muslims from 700 to 1923. They reigned for 700 years, 723 years. And all those numbers, that means something, by the way, okay? That was the first order. The Ottoman Empire fell. That was the beast wounded to the head, Revelations, okay? Then everybody gazed after the beast, right after he came back to life, right? We're all familiar with that passage, right? That was the Berlin Wall coming down. That was the rebirth. That was the beast coming back to life on 11/9. And then, what is opposite of 11/9? Anybody? What's opposite of 11/9? Huh?
9/11.
9/11. What happened on 9/11, 1990? Anybody? 9/11, 1990. And it just so happens 11 months after the Berlin, 11 is a power master builder number in numerology. 11 months after the Berlin Wall came down, George Bush, the dad, gave his New World Order speech. Are you familiar with the New World Order speech, Bubba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He gave that speech on 9/11, 1990. And what is that called? In occultism, they use 3 types of magic. Chaos magic, which is chaos. They bring buildings down in 9/11. A lesser magic, which is through your TVs and TV shows, and they tell us what's going to happen. And manifestation magic. Manifestation magic is when you speak something. Well, on 9/11, 1990, 11 months after the Berlin Wall came down, rebirth of the New World Order, George Bush gave his New World Order speech. Manifestation magic. So, do you think it was also a coincidence that his son was in office on 9/11? No. What was 9/11, 2001? That was the engine of the New World Order being turned on. What did we get out of that, folks? 9/11, think about it. Come on. What do we get? We got NDAA. We got Jade Helm. We got TSA. We got NSA. We got all the control mechanisms. That was the engine of the New World Order being turned on. What happened to George Bush on his way out of office? What happened? 2 major crises under one president. What happened? The financial crash. Remember? On his way out. Took all of those sovereign rights away. Okay. Obama got into office. Remember, you lose most of your freedoms under a Republican president. Obama gets in office. He had health care. We didn't lose any freedoms right in your face, right? There were ancillary things that have to do with your health. Obama didn't do diddly squat to take any of our freedoms away right in our face. Then Trump gets in office. Trumpkin, right? That was the New World Order being put into gear with COVID, shutting down America, making you get a shot. How many freedoms did you lose under Trump? Okay, so that's the time. That's the chronological timeline of the New World Order system that we're in right now. 1989, 11/9, rebirth. 1990, manifestation magic, George Bush. 2001, 9/11, 2001, the engine being turned on. And then the date, 3/20, is when he made all of this COVID. This is under Trump, 3/20. Got to look 32. Okay, got to look. These numbers all mean stuff. So they do things on certain dates. Trump put the New World Order into gear, and we're heading on down the road.
I'm waiting on some comments to come in here.
Okay.
That took our freedom.
The Patriot Act? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Yep. Patriot Act. Yep.
Took away
Yep. Patriot Act. The Patriot Act. And they always name them something close to our heart. Patriotism, right? Oh, God, let's sign on the dotted line because it's called the fucking Patriot Act. Give me a break. Right after 2001, right after 9/11, I had a conversation with my uncle. He was a major at that time? Was he a colonel? He was a colonel at that time. And his son, my cousin, who ended up being the district attorney of Fairfax County. Anyway, I talked to them. This is way back when, and I knew within 3 months, by Christmas time, I knew 9/11 was an inside job. That we did it to ourselves because they will let no crisis go to waste. And we blame you. No matter what you think about Islam, are they a sucky religion, kill people? Yeah. But you know who's killed more people than Islam? You know what religions kill more people? You ready for this? You probably know it. Catholicism. Catholicism has killed more people than Muslims. Guys, all religions are bad. We don't need a religion. I don't need some guy telling me how to talk to my Lord and Savior. Okay? Religions are all bad. They're man-made social constructs, and when they get big like this, guys, let's talk about the one world religion. We haven't talked about that. Do you guys know anything about the one world religion? Anybody watching or anybody listening? One world religion. We've heard about it. Revelations 13. Revelations 12. The world religion. You know what's here right now today? Okay. So listen to this. So we are supposed to, for lack of a better word, hate or not like Muslims because they bombed us, they kill people, behead people, right? Okay, well, let's talk about the Spanish Inquisitions, but that's a different topic, okay? Catholicism's killed more people than Islam has. I don't want to hear how bad Islam is. Catholicism is even worse, all right? But the New World Religion, New World Order, one world religion, is happening right now today. If you Google Cultural Center in Abu Dhabi, guess what's over there? This is in an Islamic country, right? Muslims and Jews. What do we know about What do we know about Muslims and Jews? What do we know about them? What are they friends?
No.
Will we call them friends? Huh? No. Right. Well, what's happening right now that opened up in May 2023, 4 months ago? What opened up? In Abu Dhabi, a totally, fully Islamic country. Guess what they have? The one world religion. It's a cultural center. It's 2 square miles. It has a mosque, which you would expect, but it also has a Catholic church. But you know what else it has? Come on, guess. A synagogue. Okay? So we've got the one world religion right now in real time with the Jesuit Pope, the imam, and then also the cleric, the cleric for that in Islamic country. We have a Catholic church and a synagogue, right? There's your one world religion being spearheaded by none other than the Catholic Church and this Jesuit Pope, who is most likely going to be the false prophet. I don't know that for a fact, but we'll see.
I've got a couple of comments here for you. Robert wants to know. He said, is he saying that we should be voting Democrat?
Well, here's the thing. You get there, it doesn't matter who you vote for because we're going one direction. But you get there slower with a Democrat president. If you want to get there slower, vote Democrat. Okay? Because if you vote Republican, I'm sure Trump's going to win. Boy, we're going to be full-on head steam to one world government, guys. If you want to get there slower, vote for a Democrat. But it doesn't matter who you vote for because we're all going to a one world governmental system.
All right.
They won't.
They don't count our votes.
Yeah. Oh, we're of the belief that they don't count our votes anyway because presidents aren't elected; they're selected, right? Yeah. What's his name? Once Biden got in there, he was selected. Whatever you think about Trump, I don't like him. I don't like just because I know who he is. I know who Biden is. I know who Trump is. I know who Obama was. I know who Bush was. I know the players of the game. Okay, but we get there slower with a Democrat president. But as I said, opening this up a second ago, is presidents are selected. They're not elected, guys.
You mentioned Obama. I got a question here too. Said, didn't Obama put in the Propaganda Act on his last days of office?
Yeah, I think so. He sure did. You know what? And this is what I knew you couldn't believe a president for decades. I already know you can't believe the shit coming out of their mouths. Don't get me wrong. But I had hope. For our first Muslim president, Obama, when he put into the record, or he made it a law in 2009, where he would make commercials quieter on your TV. He said that he was going to do it, and it never happened. I was so pissed after that. You know how you always have to turn down the TV when a commercial comes up? He was supposed to fix that. After that, I lost all hope for him.
Clinton said the Vatican has all of history hidden in their storage banks.
Oh no, the Vatican is ground zero for the New World Order. Satan resides at the Vatican. I mean, that's and in Turkey. He has one home according to the Bible. That's in Turkey. Mount Patmos, it's Greek. I'm sorry, it's in Greece. Mount Patmos. That is Satan's seat. is in Greece. And it's in the Bible. It's just read it. It's there. He also has a second home, which is not in the Bible, but it's the Vatican. Yeah, Satan is there. He's roaming the halls of the Vatican.
Trying to see if we got more comments. Clinton says he sure hopes that you're wrong about Trump.
You know, I wish I was. I'm not. But here's the thing. 2020 came along. Everyone, guys, do you remember how good 2020 was with respect to everybody had a lot of money. Well, yeah. Real estate was killing it. You know, a lot of people did lose their jobs, but they got their PPEs or whatever it was. You know, the thing about Republican presidents is they get us all happy and fat for the slaughter. Okay? Because everybody was like, we got to do something. We got to do something. We need the PPE. We need money. All right, here you go. Take it. And then, bam, warp speed. Welcome to your vaccine where you can't work if you don't have it. You can't travel if you don't have it. Just makes me want to spit nails, man. You know?
I don't know if you, which I know you have said it on previous shows, you know, when you've been on before, but I don't know if you've mentioned it tonight or not. But what a lot of people may not know is you had to leave your job because of vaccination thing. So, you know, I don't know if a lot of people, you know.
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. So my dad died of COVID. So there's two parts here. My dad died of COVID, right? It's still a sham. My dad, it's still bullshit. This is still, well, your dad, you know, you never had anybody die from it. You don't know what it's like. Well, F you. Yes, I did. Okay. I still know it was released on. These are for those mask wearing folk out there that are like, no, somebody died in my family. And then my job, I left a job because they were making mandatory. And they also said, well, you can get a waiver. I said, I don't want to have to work that hard to appease you when it's my body, my choice, supposedly. Right? Absolutely. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I quit a job. I sure in the heck did. That was last November. December. Yeah, I mean, just recent, like within the last year.
Yeah, I wanted to let you tell that part of your story because I'm sure a lot of people probably that hadn't ever watched us before probably hadn't ever heard you say that before, that, you know, you had to leave, you know, your position and leave that job, you know, because of the vaccination requirement that, you know, that they were pushing on their employees there.
Yep, I will fall on that sword. My convictions are strong. They are. My convictions are very strong. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And I always save room a little bit because for learning, right? Because I'll be the first one to know I am the smartest guy in the fucking room if I'm the only guy in the room. Okay, so. Yeah. So I don't know it all, and I'm open to learning and changing, you know, viewpoints if things are presented. Yeah, I'm not a diehard, stuck in my ways kind of guy. I'm like, hey, listen, this is all fluid. I want to be sure that I have the right message and I'm telling people the right thing so as not to lead them astray, and so they can take that information and disseminate it to who they need to, and hopefully wake a lot of people up.
Lawrence says it was left up to the states about COVID, and it depends on who your governor was.
True. Yeah, that was a big part of it. Yeah, that is true. And that's one thing that we still have our you know, a representative republic, right? That does come in handy. Now listen, on the local level, now what that guy just said, this wasn't a national, because remember, Trump made it, everybody's got to get it. Then it came back to our local governments. Okay, that's where the important politicians are local. Okay, because they can. Listen. I heard stories when I was a kid. We had family in Tennessee. Can't remember where they resided. This is in probably 1800, 1880, 1890, 1900s. Some distant cousins, my grandmother's cousins, were Tennessee, and Prohibition. You know, they would stand out the county line when the revenuers would come with their shotguns and tell them to get the hell out. That's what we need today. We don't need you, governments. You know, we've come to acquiesce our inalienable, our God-given rights to govern ourselves and giving them to people that are Satanists.
You are correct.
Yeah.
You got anything, Deb? I'm trying to see if I can get you some of these. Looks like most of the comments we've been able to hit, but let's see what we say. I don't remember Trump saying you had to get it. Where is that footage?
Yeah, so he brought us warp speed, right? He brought the vaccine, right? Hey, hon. Oh, did she go outside? She know better. Yeah. So yeah, find it. It's because he brought us warp speed. He brought us the vaccine. We didn't need it. We didn't need it. We don't need it. We didn't need it, right? Who needs this? Blood clots. You're killing. Remember what I posted in 2020? I was all over this, right? So Trump brought us warp speed. So yes, he brought us the vaccine, right? And Trump is he's the head of the snake. If a company says that we have to get a vaccine to work, he brought it to us because he brought us the vaccine. He brought it. None of this would have happened without the federal government, folks. You understand that? None of it. So, you know, I wish my wife was here, because if you're looking for the words from Trump going, hey, listen, you have to get the vaccine to work. Did he say those exact words? No. Or maybe he did. I don't know. It really doesn't fucking matter, because he brought us the vaccine, this inoculation that we don't need. He kept Fauci around. He kept Scarflady around. He wasn't draining diddly squat, right? So by proxy, he said, you get the vaccine or you can't work. Okay? He's part of it. Just because my company, the company's being mandated, vaccines, company mandates, bam, here we go. Now I need something that I don't need to work. Yeah, so he's part of the party. He's part of the problem. So yeah. And if he did say it, I'll find it and text it to Mike. So yeah. And don't get me wrong, if you want to defend Trump, you defend him all day long. You can stay on that side of the fence and be a sheep and walk down and get on that boxcar. But I know who these people are. They're all Satanists. They're all occultists. They're all into sex trafficking children. They're all in it, man. And if you don't believe it, as I said earlier, about an hour and a half ago, I've got some beachfront property in Nevada. I'll sell you for $100, and you can Venmo it to me. Well, and I'll give you the
deed. You're going to sell it to me for $100. I don't know what the ocean's going to look like from Nevada, but I'll have to send it that way. But
it'll look good.
I've got you a couple of good comments here. I think you're going to like these. I'm going to read one and then read the other one with it. So I know you. So hopefully you got your blood pressure medicine ready. So here we go. But he said he did not make it mandatory. And then another one says, Trump did not have anything to do with the vaccine. This guy has got problems. Didn't make it mandatory. He hasn't a clue.
Okay, so okay, great. So if you guys understand how the system works, which evidently these guys don't, the government says something, right? The government, this is all planned out, folks. You don't think they talk to my company? I work for $1 billion company. Okay, we did $163 billion in servicing. Caliber did. Okay, so if you don't think all the talking heads and all the puppets behind the scenes didn't get with Trump, all the CEOs of Pfizer, of my company, of every Fortune 500 company, if you don't think they had a conversation and go, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring you warp speed. We're going to get this. We're going to say it's the best thing ever. We're going to get, what was it? Intubators, right? Those were killing people, guys. That's a whole different story. The intubating machines, whatever it was, well, they're going to be the best we've ever had. If you don't think that Trump sat with all of the CEOs or his team and all these globalists sat down and said, hey, here's what we're doing. To take the erroneous off of you, Mr. Trump, we'll just put the erroneous on us. We'll make it mandatory. You don't think he wanted it mandatory. You're living in a dream world, puppet, okay? Because if companies are making it mandatory, especially the big ones, and you have to get this to travel, right? I mean, it's not so much here, but in Europe, if you don't think they're talking, you're way behind the 8 ball because they had all this shit planned out, man. You're just waking up going, well, what? Oh, okay, vaccine, I'll do it. Yeah, Trump, I love him. You know, you gotta break the paradigm. You gotta break that brainwashing, that inculcation that you've had about who these people are, because they're all devil worshipers, every one of them. And just because Trump didn't go, hey, you got to get it to work, doesn't mean he wasn't involved, because he's the one that brought us warp fucking speed. What was warp speed? To get the vaccine so everybody could get back to work. He shut down America. We couldn't work. How much more do you want to hear? We couldn't work. He said, you're not working. But how can we get you back to work? Oh, yeah. Let's bring you warp speed so we can get to the vaccine. If that's not saying you can't, if that's not saying you have to get it to work, then I don't know where your head is, Bubba.
He commented back to you and said, please show us something besides telling me about yourself and some pieces to back your mouth. Seems like it's all your opinion and no substance to back it, because he isn't a doctor.
It's not I said, what was that last part?
He said because he isn't a doctor.
Oh, me? I'm a doctor? What? So what's he trying to argue? That we don't, there's two, see that guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
It seems like it's just your opinion and you have no way to back any of it up.
Well, but what does me being a doctor have to do with the opinion that we have to get a vaccine to work? Maybe he's not tapping fast enough. I don't know. Or maybe he's just dumb. So 2 parts there. So me not being a doctor has nothing to do with the fact that Trump brought us warp speed. Me not being a doctor doesn't have to do with any of the fact that this thing is killing people. I don't need to be a doctor.
No, he replied back and said Trump isn't a doctor. That's what he was talking
about. Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, Trump is not a doctor, correct. He's listening to what people are telling him. Got it, understand. So you're a big Trump fan, I can tell, right? So weren't you mad that Trump shut down America and made it so you couldn't work? Over what we're now finding out 3 years later was a bunch of BS. So I knew it was BS when it was happening. You're just waking up to the fact that people are dying because of this blood clotting inoculation that you're getting that Trump brought us, right? You're just waking up to the fact that, oh my God, maybe you're not. Maybe you're still wearing a mask. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but if you don't see that Trump bringing us warp speed, and what does he know what warp speed is? Does everybody know what warp speed is? Let's ask that. Let's kind of clarify that. Do you guys hosting the show, do you know what the warp speed was?
I'll go ahead and share it with us.
Okay, so warp speed was bringing a new vaccine to the market at what? Warp speed. Fast. 3 months, 6 months, whatever it was. Instead of the 10 years, it's supposed to. You know why it was warp speed? Because they already had it. They didn't need 3 months. They needed 3 days to get it out. Guys, they've had this thing for at least 10 years working on this mRNA. Okay? Warp speed was so everybody could get back to work. That's what warp speed was. Google it. Trump and warp speed. We got to get the vaccine so everybody can get back to work. If that's not saying you need a vaccine to get back to work, I don't know what is.
Yeah, let's see here. We had another person comment, said that Fauci shut down America. And then it was left up to the states. Florida worked, New York didn't, and Texas worked. So,
no, sir or ma'am, Fauci did not shut down America. Fauci does not have the power to shut down America. Trump shut down America. Okay, I'll explain it to you. Trump is the president of the United States. He makes all decisions from the executive office. That has to do with commerce. Okay? Trump takes advisement. And I hear this argument, well, he had to. Well, Trump had to do. Trump didn't have to do anything. He could have said, F you, I'm leaving America open. I'm going to let my American citizens, my brethren, my brothers, my sisters, make their own decision to work or not to work. But he took that away. He He took our freedom of making our own choice away from us. Fauci didn't do that. Okay, so change your paradigm, change your way of thinking. Fauci has zero power with respect to shutting down America. It all resides in the executive branch. There's three branches, in case you don't know. There's three branches of the United States government, okay? Congressional, judicial, executive, okay? The executive office is where the president is, and he makes all the decision but with respect to transit, transit and commerce, that has nothing to do with Fauci. Zero.
He commented back just now and said, it was left up to the states. My governor arrested people for going to church, and he's a Democrat.
There you go. Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. Okay? Yeah. That comes back to local. But here's the thing. Trump still shut down America. Your Democrat governor or mayor, whoever was arresting people. What kind of freedoms are you losing? Folks, it's happening. It's so funny how it's happening right in front of people and they don't see it. They can't see the forest through the trees, man. It's crazy that the inculcation and the brainwashing that a lot of people have, that they just can't see that they're being railroaded. You know, you're there. Hey, there's a boxcar right down there. Go get on that real quick. I'll be right down there. As a person telling you to get on the boxcar turns around and gets in his jet and flies home. Okay.
See what we got here. I get what he's saying, but Fauci advised to shut it all down.
Well, right. No, we're in agreement there. Yes, Fauci is the advisor, right? But here's the thing. Trump knows Fauci. They all know each other. They send their kids to the same freaking schools. They party together. Hillary Clinton was at fucking Trump's wedding, for God's sake. Folks, all of this for us, this bickering back and forth, oh, Trump, they don't hate him. This is just part of the game. Guys, this is part to keep us down here arguing back and forth over people that don't matter to us until they start jacking with my freedoms and your freedoms, and we sit back and go, okay, well, shut down America. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Let's roll, right? I mean, it boggles my mind. But yeah, Trump didn't have to listen to Fauci. If Trump is this big old bully, right, this guy that's just so mean, oh no, your words are hurting me, Trump. If he's this guy, where is that New York pound your head in when Fauci says that 5'2" short little midget guy tells him to shut down America? Where's Trump going? No, I'm not going to allow you to shut down America and have my brethren, the people I care about, lose their family, lose their jobs, commit suicide, start drugs, beat their wives, drink alcohol, beat their husbands, whatever it is. No, I'm going to continue to have them work, and they're not going to quit working because I'm going to let them make their own choice. Where was that Trump? Where's that big Trumpkin, the orange pumpkin at when he's shutting down America and you're going, what do you mean you're shutting down America? I can't work? Where's he at? He's part of the cabal.
I said, my state fired medical personnel, and so did California and New York because of a Democrat governors, while red states didn't shut down.
Yeah, no, exactly right. It's very important for your local governments that you put people in that would, like Oklahoma stayed open. The company that I quit last year, I think they're out of Texas. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is that, yeah, Trump is the head of the snake. He controls everything with respect to commerce and trade and all of that, with respect to how we make a living. He could have said no. And then it comes very important, the red states and blue states. Great analogy. People were dying in blue states and not dying in red states. You know, so yeah, it does matter once it gets down local. But in the end, folks, here's the thing. In the end, we are all going to the one world governmental system. It doesn't matter who's in charge. Red or blue, doesn't matter. We're headed that way. Satan is in control of this ship. He is steering it, and we're going towards it. We just get there faster with the Republican president. And here's the thing. Australia is in bad shape. Europe, they're collectively getting us under this umbrella with the social credit system that they're running in China, the CBDC. All of this stuff is connected, and you need to understand that there is nothing that sits alone by itself that is operating in by itself alone in some system that's over here. Everything is connected.
Jenny wants to know, what do you think we should have done during COVID then?
Stay open, work. That's it. Because here's the thing: if I'm going to die, I want to die under my own volition. I want to die I'm going to die making my own decisions. I don't need you to save me. Thank you very much, Mr. Trump. Okay, I don't need a savior. I've got my savior, Yeshua. Okay. You're the last one. You're the last one on the list that needs to save me. So let me work. Let me do my job. And if I die of COVID because I caught it from somewhere and blah, 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 that was my choice. At least I have my choice, and it wasn't taken from me, but they took it away. We had no choice.
Now do you see why I asked you if you took your blood pressure medicine?
Yeah.
Because I knew it was getting ready to get interesting. So.
Yeah, it's man.
Why didn't Democrat states stay open is another question I've got.
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple because no matter if we Republican, Democrat, we're different dichotomy. The dichotomy between Republican and Democrat is different, yes, but they have to maintain their appearance of impartiality, right? So Republican states stayed open because that's what we wanted. They know. That's why it has to be our guy in office, folks. That's why Hillary Clinton couldn't shut down America. That's why Obama couldn't shut down America. Can you imagine the backlash they would have if it was them trying to shut us down? It's the same thing on the local government. Democrat states, they voted a Democrat in, so that's the perception of power. Power is not real. It's the perception of power. Okay? Power is only what you give something. I don't give anybody power over me. Until they come with, whatever it is, knocking down my door, whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. We are in this system where we have to, play within the lines. But with respect to Democrat and Republican, Democrat states closed because they could. They knew they wouldn't have a backlash. Republican states stayed open because they could. Because they know if they closed, they would have had a backlash.
I got a question here for you from Robert. He says, are you going to vote for creepy, crazy, perverted Joe Biden if Trump is the Republican nominee?
Easy question to answer. I don't vote. I don't care because they're all Satanists. Is that clear enough for you?
And then I've got one here. Let's see here. Rusty says, where do you get your facts on things that you were sharing?
Well, besides 20 years of being involved in occultism and Satanism and symbology, nowhere really. I mean, just stuff I've learned, giving talks, and my talks have changed over the years. They've evolved. Yeah, like everything, like things evolve, they get better. Hopefully, more information. Yeah, books, family, internet. Where does anybody get their information from? Right? And what it sounds like, and I could be misreading that question, but what he's saying is, what, you get all your information from YouTube? So, he might have missed earlier conversations. I've got family that were high up in the Air Force. So, most of it comes from them. And then you know what I do? I do my own research and find out if they're right or not. I don't fucking just listen and go, okay, yeah. Just like all the crap I'm saying, look it up. Look it up. Yeah. But when the time comes, when that choice comes, and we're all in a group, right? We're all in this little collective group together, and the government's telling you go that way, don't grab me because I'm going that way. That's where all my knowledge and stuff will come into use. Is that I know what's going on for the most part. I don't know it all.
So Lawrence says, if you don't if you don't vote, then why are you complaining? So
Do I really have to answer that question? Is it not obvious? Because
I'll leave that up to you. So
yeah, because let's say I vote and Trump gets in office.
first time ever.
He's a Satanist. He's part of the occult. Let's say I vote and Biden gets in office. Right? So what? So the question was again, why? Basically, why am I bitching? Why? What was the question again?
If you don't vote, why are you complaining? So,
There you go. Okay, because I voted for Trump, he shut down America. Right? If I voted for, I didn't vote for Trump, but let's say I voted for Trump, he still shut down America. So I can't complain. So I didn't vote, and I still got shut down. So it doesn't matter, guys. They're part of the. They are two wings of the same bird. You people out here that are going on, just get over it, man. Trump is as evil as Obama is Bush, as Putin, as Xi Jinping, as Fauci, as Angela Merkel, as all of them. Okay, they're in the cabal together, man. If I could just get you guys to wake up to that alone, that would be great. Now, what? Let me help you out with that guy's question. Now, his next one is, well, what do we do? Right? Well, it's right, and this was not going to happen because we're all pussies, right? I say that collectively. I mean, not a pussy, but I'm just going to go, hey, we're all pussies, right? And right in the Declaration of Independence, it gives us the right to remove our government if it becomes erroneous and keeps us down. That is in the Declaration of Independence. We can do that, but we will never exercise that because we're down here. You're defending Trump. I'm saying he's a piece of shit. That's where you're going to be. You want to put all your eggs in one basket and go Trump, let's roll. When he doesn't care one fucking thing about you, Bubba. Doesn't care. And if you don't see that, what were you doing during 2020 when he shut down? When he shut America down, says you can't work. He shut down America. So he did say you can't work, by the way. Okay? Now, to get back to work, that's what you guys are talking about. You have to have this to get back to work. That's companies. But he shut down America. So he made it so you couldn't work. Right? What were you doing then? Man, thank God it was Trump that did it because Hillary Clinton, I wouldn't trust her. Don't you see how stupid that argument is? They all suck.
Hillary's something else anyway.
Oh, I know. Well, dude, she's as evil as all of them, man. George Carlin said it the best. There's a set of rules I live by. The first rule is I don't believe a word the government tells me. And the second great thing George Carlin said was, it's a big club and you ain't in it.
He never said you can't work. Where is that clip?
He shut down America. What are you talking about? Yes, he did. Okay, listen, Cupcake. He might not have said the words exactly, but he shut down America. What does that mean? That means you can't work. So he might not have said, oh, this is some argument a teenager's going to have. Well, he really didn't say you can't work. Well, motherfucker, he said he shut down America. He shut down all the businesses. What do you think? So he said it indirectly. How's that? Is that better for you? You need to wake up, man. These sophomoric arguments, bro, they're waste of your time. If he shut down America, who remembers 2020 in March? Who remembers? Anybody? March 2020. Was anybody working in March, April, and May? Anybody? No, you weren't. You know why? Because Trump says you can't work. Is that plain enough for you?
Yeah, I got another comment here for you from Robert. Let's see here. If you believe truly believe in God, what he wants to happen will be done no matter what any human does.
Damn right.
It don't really matter if you have guns, ammo, and food stored or not. Oh, Lord. You will
Bless you.
You will live as long as he wants you to.
Right. I totally agree. And let me expand on that because I know exactly where this guy's going. So we're all headed one direction. We have no control over it. We're going to one world governmental system. Evidently, this guy's not seen one of my talks. Well, what can we do? Nothing. But what we can do, let me back up here. We can do nothing about where we're going. We're all in agreement, right? But what we can do is mitigate what happens to us. Does that make sense? Do you know what the word mitigate means? Okay. We can lessen the impact it has on our lives. That's why it's important for, and I don't mean to talk down to you, but I get questions like this and I want people to wake up. Okay. Mitigate what happens to us. So yeah, you're right. We're going to one world religion. We're going to the great reset. We're headed to one world governmental system. We're going where Satan is in control, where he sits on the throne in Israel, and abomination of desolation happens in Daniel 6. Okay, this is all happening. We can do nothing about it. You're exactly right. But would you rather go that direction and not try to help lessen your suffering on your way down that road? Right? That's what you need to be thinking of. You're right. We're on this crazy train, and we're headed to the very end, and it's going to end right with at the Battle of Armageddon. But what we can do on the way is send the message out, mitigate food, storage, water, gold, silver, ammo, talking to your friends, getting the right people in your local governments that say, hey, when they show up, tell them to F off because I'm not quitting my job this time. I'm not going to stay in my house this time. You're not telling me what to do. We can help mitigate what happens to us. So you're exactly right. We're all headed that direction, and it doesn't matter who's in office because they're all Satanists. But wouldn't you rather have a little bit of more, if you're on a ride and you have 100 you have 100 safety pins poking you in your ass. Would you like to lessen those safety pins to maybe 4 safety pins instead of 100? Yeah, that's what I mean when you say, hey, that's what I mean when I say mitigate. Make it more comfortable as you can. And then in the end, if it gets really that bad, I'll just tell my wife, go ahead and just kill me now. Just shoot me now. Let's get it over with.
Let's see here. Warp speed because it was lesser to 2E. About what? Does anyone know about CERN?
Man, yeah, I do. Yes.
That was from Melina in the comments, and she was just asking if you knew about it.
Yeah, sure do. CERN's it's 27. Is it 30 miles? 27 miles? And guys, this is another thing. Everything's on ley lines. You got to understand. You live here, okay? I understand that these continents are probably not in the right order. This is just the map that we have of the flat Earth. It's not right, but we live here. Understand that when they do things, everything's on ley lines, on latitude, longitude, certain areas of the Earth. Because the guys, nothing's new under the sun. Everything has been here before. Satan has everything set up years ago, decades ago, eons ago, centuries ago. This right here, they do everything's on ley line. And there's an important ley line that goes through CERN. It goes through a special place, which lines up with Washington, D.C., which lines up with the Georgia Guidestones, which are no longer here, which lines up with a whole bunch of stuff, Egypt, the pyramids, everything. All this is connected. Yeah, and what CERN is, a big hadron collider. It's opening portals or something. For that fact, I don't know if it's just I think what CERN is a big. I'm not saying it's not real, but they're doing some scientific stuff there. But it's more of the things that they have. What do they call their pageants? The how they bring things into existence. Manifestation magic, okay? The big opening they had, right? All that stuff, yeah. So CERN, that's all, guys. When I said a few minutes ago, everything's connected in occultism and all this. It's all connected. CERN's part of it.
How about the throne of Satan is another thing I've got in the comment here.
Yeah, throne of Satan sits in Greece. It's in the Bible. If you look it up, if you look, yeah, it's I did a talk on this or talked about this a while back. Yeah, the seat of Satan, Turkey and Greece. Turkey and Greece. Satan is going to come out of Turkey. He'll because Turkey is kind of where kind of the central hub of his of his dominion started in Turkey or the Mid East basically, and then Greece is where his seat is. Pathamos, Mount Pathamos, I think is what it's called. Patmos, yeah, Mount Patmos.
Melina says, you said Israel. It's actually Geneva, is it not?
No, I never said Israel is Geneva, but Israel, guys, the Jews. Okay, so the synagogues of Satan in the Bible, Corinthians, the synagogue of Satan. Maybe it's Revelations. Anyway, the Jews that are there now are pretty much all counterfeit. The Jews that are the true, Jews. Speaking of, that's north of Israel and then into Eastern Europe is where they all reside now. But the Pharisees were the false Jews, the ones that killed Christ, the ones that killed Yeshua, that nailed him, that murdered him. Those are the synagogues. Those are the that is the line of Cain, Cain and Abel. Those are that's the Satan line of the Jews, counterfeit Jews, if you will. But yeah, Netanyahu, he's part of that cabal, guys. So when the devil sits in the seat of God, of Yahweh, when the third temple is built and the desolation of the desolation comes in, that's when it says everybody run from Israel, because that's when the wrath of Yahweh really hits. Is Israel? He's gonna tear Israel up because of all the apostates that live there.
Yeah, I do really hope that you took your blood pressure medicine. So
yeah, right. Well, there's anything else?
we've got like I said, I got a big comment here from Kim. She's basically just saying, where some people are confused, some people know nothing, some people have a piece of the puzzle, other people don't. But at the end of it,
Mm-hmm.
she's talking about Jesus and basically said, he's the one person that's going to take care of us. He's our only hope, and he is the hero of the people that are what people are looking for. So.
True. Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, he is the light. He is the way and the light. So as long as when I talk about the rapture, people always say, well, we're all going to be raptured up, and I said, no, we're not. Blah blah. And what is the one thing you need to be sure that you're good to go? And that is, we talked about that earlier, be saved. That's it in a nutshell. Everything else that happens after you're saved, is part of the plan. Whether you live a fruitful life, or you're killed, or you're tortured, or whatever it is, as long as you're saved, once we hit that point, you're going to be just fine.
Oh. If we got anything else here, looks like it's about winded down. Looks like we've winded everybody down, Jim. Do you have any final thoughts or anything else that you want to say?
No, I really appreciate the platform tonight. I love talking to you guys, and I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope there was some good content and stuff for everyone. But yeah, I really appreciate it. We need to make this happen more often. I like to get worked up.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on. I mean, we try to have you on a couple of times a year, and and let you I was talking a few weeks ago. I said the way that things are going in the world right now, and a lot of the topics that are coming up, I said this makes it perfect. Um, for a gym episode. So I mean that was one of the reasons why I contacted you and want to know if you'd be interested in doing it. And like you said, anytime that you're interested in coming on, I mean we can do as many as you want, and just continue
Oh
to
yeah. No,
put
I really
stuff.
appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we can do this monthly or every 6 weeks. Just you tell me when you have an opening, man, and just bring me back, and I'll always have new content and new stuff we can talk about, and of course, bring up the old stuff so everybody doesn't forget.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could have had Matthew with us tonight. He got behind on some work. I mean, I've seen him in here a few times listening in, and watching, but I didn't have him here with us tonight, like I normally do. So I mean, he has his thoughts and stuff, and a lot of different things too. So maybe the next time we'll have him on, and we'll roll with it from there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, text me that link so I can disseminate it too. Appreciate it.
Alrighty. When I shared it on Facebook, I tagged you in it, so you'll be able to
Oh,
go
good.
back.
Okay.
You'll be able to go back and watch it on there and everything, and be able to see
Yeah,
everything, be able to see
perfect.
more of the comments and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, Jim. Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, and we will talk. We will talk later. Have a good one.
Alrighty, you too, man. Be safe.
All
See you, bud. It's a little bit dark here on my end, so you probably ain't going to be able to see me too much. But I hope everybody enjoyed Jim. I mean, he's out there. I mean, that's why I bring him on. I know a lot of people sometimes, like I believe Kim said it in the comments earlier. He there's a lot of people that don't agree with him. Some people agree half with him, and other people, here and there. But he speaks his mind and tells it like it is, and you know, um, it's always fun having him on. And I appreciate him coming on. And if you all enjoyed it, and anybody liked having him on, I mean, I'm more than happy to bring him on anytime. But before we close here tonight, I'm going to go over a few announcements here. If I could see my paper, it's kind of dark out here. Um, this coming Friday, it's live on the Licking in O'Mill Park. It's a concert, being put on by the West Liberty Tourism Commission. It starts at 7:30. If anybody, it's a free event. I mean, we'd like to pack the park. There's going to be multiple different bands there and stuff, I do believe. So, I mean, it should be a fun event. Bring your family out, bring you a lawn chair, bring you some drinks, and just enjoy that. I don't have a time, but I was told at the Wellness Center that Friday evening before Live on the Licking begins, there will be a car show, out at the Morgan County Wellness Center, out on 519 Route 7 area out there. I don't have a time for that, but if I can get a time or, a flyer or something for that, I'll be able to share that and get that up for you. But what was it, Deb?
Friday is live on the Licking, right?
Yes, this coming Friday, is Live on the Licking at 7:30. So yeah, we definitely like to pack that park and have as many people as possible in and try to get that filled up. And like I said, there is a car show at the Wellness Center. I don't have a time, but I will share it. But it is before Live on the Licking, so it should maybe 5 or 6 o'clock somewhere through there. But once I get that information passed along, I will get it out to everybody. For anybody who would like to attend that. But I do appreciate everybody tonight. Tonight's a little bit different show. I mean, Matthew wasn't with us, so basically, by having the guest on, I done it the way I did it, to leave him on the air and just let him talk. I mean, I figure if you're going to bring a guest on, it's the best thing to do is to put them up on the main screen and just let them talk and just ask the questions and stuff in the background and just let them go. And I do appreciate him being in. You got anything you need to share? Um, make sure you got the stuff tore off your glasses. Uh, Clinton says it was very interesting, and it is. It's interesting. Every time we have Jim on, he upsets some people, and some people, agree 100% with him. So I mean, it's actually kind of fun, and but I do enjoy having him on. It's it makes it a very very interesting episode, and I appreciate everybody. I mean that's pretty much all we've got for now. we're going to take a week off next week. We won't be live next week. We're going to go live on Sunday, August the 20th.
Unless you go live on your page at Licking.
Yeah, I mean, I may go live, at the live on the Licking this Friday for a little bit. But for as the show, I'm going to take a week off, and we'll be back in 2 weeks on August the 20th, probably the same time, and hopefully we'll have Matthew back by then and let everybody rest up a little bit and get some more information. I've got about a half a page of notes here, some stuff that's happened this week with Donald Trump and a couple other things, but we'll save that for the next show and be able to get all that stuff going. But yeah, we'll be back August the 20th. In 2 weeks, we'll be back on a Sunday, August 20th. I do appreciate everybody. We're supposed to have some pretty good storms moving in overnight and tomorrow, so everybody, everybody stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. Keep an eye on the sky. Stay warm this week. If you're in an area where the temperatures are up and everything, drink plenty of water. And I look forward to talking to you guys in 2 weeks. I do appreciate you tuning in. Everybody take care and have a good night.